mortgage interest rates have been falling throughout 2025, and housing inventory has been rising throughout 2025, which brings us here to the first couple of weeks in January. So, what does 2026 hold for the housing market? I'm Christian Perkins, a real estate broker here in San Antonio, and I've been bringing buyers and sellers together since 2007. Today, we're going to talk about those two topics and then jump into the San Antonio housing market data. Let's get started. Here in the first slide, this is a quote from Lisa Sturdivant, chief economist from Bright MLS. She says, while lower mortgage rates and more inventory will bring some buyers back, this will be a reset year, not a rebound year. Market performance will hinge on local economic conditions, making 2026 one of the most geographically divided markets we've seen in years. And for the second slide, we're going to see some of that play out. All these states in orange, there's where market activity through the third quarter of 2025 was either negative or flat. Zoom in on Texas. It was either minus 0.1 through quarter three, just flat. Okay. Colorado, minus 1.2. And that's a stark difference from a lot of the Midwest states. You look at here, Illinois, 6.9 home price appreciation, Wisconsin, 5.8, North Dakota, 6.3, Kansas, 4.1. Totally different story depending on what state you're in. These southern states, mostly all of them, looking at some sort of price correction going on versus these other Midwestern states. Some of the metros are going to be different than other metros. Even in some of these orange states, they're going to have price appreciation. And the same thing goes with some of the Midwest states that saw mostly price appreciation. It's going to be a different story in different states. It's going to be like that in every neighborhood. So let's jump into the local San Antonio housing market data now. And now for the San Antonio housing market data. As you can see, we're sitting right below balance market. We have been right in that balance market for the last couple of months, but when the new year rang in, we lost about 4.73% of inventory. So that puts us at a 5 months worth of inventory mark there. Our list price to sell price ratio, 98.1%. That's good for sellers as far as the inventory goes. Also good for sellers that are still on the market. And buyers still have a lot of options to choose from in the San Antonio market, but we did lose some inventory to expireds and cancels. The typical days on the market, we're looking at about 58 days on the market, down 4.92% month over month through December data. And the median sold price in December, $295,000. That's slightly up 1.69%. Next up, new listings. We saw a decrease in new listings, which is not unusual for the time of year. We're sitting at 1,598 new listings in San Antonio, down almost 17%. December usually is a low point in the number of new listings. This one was lower than usual, but nothing unusual about having fewer new listings in December. Active listings, you'll notice here, we're still increasing overall the number of active listings. Currently, in the short term, we're seeing fewer active listings. We did lose some active listings, about 6.2% month over month. We're sitting at about 8,357 active properties. These are homes that are still on the market. They're not under contract. They're still for sale, and they're ready to receive offers. Typically, right now, these active listings, this pool of active listings is looking at about 90 days on the market, and that is up 8.4% month over month. So they're sitting longer. I would say these are probably some of your most motivated sellers on the market. I know they're in there, especially if their home is vacant. So if you're a buyer, you love to see all the options that you have to buy a home. Don't look too deep into how long the home's been on the market. It usually has something to do with that list price. If it's a high price, then maybe they just need to see an offer. to pull the trigger and put that house under contract. This is one of the most important metrics other than mortgage applications for deciding which way the market is going. This is your new pending listings. New pending listings continue to decline. If you're a home seller, you don't want to see this. We're continuing to see a decline in new pending contracts. Clearly, we're still selling homes out there. Homes are still going to the closing table, but we're still seeing that trend line. And I know a lot of homeowners want to see this reverse itself and start to see more pending listings. For the month of December, we saw 1,035 new pending listings. That's down 28.5% month over month. Not unusual for the time of year, but the overall trend is still going in the opposite direction. Sellers want to see it go. If you're a buyer, clearly, if you can participate in the market and afford the payments, this is definitely something you want to see because you see less competition over the homes that you desire. Not every single home is going to be wide open and easy to get. Just looking at some of the earlier stats that we talked about, namely the sales price ratio. If it looks like a great deal, it probably is, especially if you've been looking for a long time. Be ready to pay close to list price, even though this trend line is going in a favorable direction. Pending listings, these are the leftover pending listings from December, also down 21.7%, 1,565 pending listings. Again, that trend line's going in the opposite direction. Sellers want to see it go, and buyers should be paying attention for those deals that are still in active status. Sold listings. These, again, the trend line going in the opposite direction sellers want to see. Not as many sales numbers, but what this means for sellers is the demand is building. This can only go this direction for so long before something changes. And right now it's heading in the opposite direction. Sellers want to see it go. Buyers, this is definitely an advantage for buyers seeing this. So look for those good deals. We're sitting at 1,435 listings for the month of December. That's actually up 15.4% month over month. Could this be an indication of the market changing? We do have declining interest rates, and mortgage applications have been fluctuating. In November, they were up, and everyone jumped on that news. Now, January report for mortgage applications was low, so we'll see how that plays out month over month. I think the market is poised to start giving us some mixed data here. Every neighborhood's going to be different. Every metro is going to be different. We'll see what 2026 brings us in sold listings. So where does that leave you? If you are contemplating a move, you're not sure exactly what to do, what your ideal property is going to cost, best way to acquire it, or best way to get it sold, feel free to schedule a no-hassle consultation with me, 210-260-6617. Be happy to cover that with you. And until next time, see you on the next video.